Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another Russian cast. And today we're having a look at a game here played on the Korean server. It is a Karthus in the mid lane, and he's going off against an Orianna. In the top lane for the blue team, we have Darius facing off against the Aatrox. And then in the jungle, we have Viego for the blue team, and for the red team, we have a Sylas jungle, so quite spicy. In the bottom lane, we have probably the worst bot lane combo you can imagine on the red side with Samira and Sona. I mean, once they hit level 6, it's kind of okay, but yeah, Samira can imagine playing with a better support than Sona. Let's put it like that. And then for the blue team, we have Rel and frickin' Nila, which is much stronger of a combo. So I would be very surprised if the Samira lane does stand a chance here indeed. However, that shan't be the focus of today's episode, as we are looking into this off-meta pick in the mid lane. If you are into off-meta picks, there are quite a few coming in the next couple of days, so make sure to hit subscribe. I know I really don't, I don't want to advertise this too. Oh, we have an all-in. Never mind. Shot here, amazed. Ashen. This is important as... Oh, solo kill onto the Orianna. Very well done. The exhaust drop early on, and he just moves into Orianna. All right. Orianna, she thought she could win this. As Orianna, you're kind of used to being able to win stuff like that as well. But it wasn't so. Very, very well done. And I assume that is part of his strategy as well. As he can only buy a Sapphire Crystal, which, I mean, it's not the best. He has a refillable potion though, so at least that's the thing. And I mean, he got a Dark Harvest stack already, which is pretty good, right? So we will see how exactly he can prevent all the pokage that will come out from Orianna, because that is like the #1 problem. We see him move to place some wards here. This is always something that you can do if dependent on your lane state, right? If you're recalled and the enemy lane isn't shoving in right away, you always get the opportunity to do exactly that. So Karthus does exactly that, which is going to be great for him, as his team has a lot more vision, and Orianna never saw his control ward, so is never going to check for it. So just a couple of things to notice, obviously, right? We have another skirmish happening here, and this should be pretty good, but Sylas taking a lot of damage. Sylas is going down here 100%. Let's see if Karthus will be able to take down the Viego. Ooh, very close, but he ends up taking him down for a double kill for him, but also a double for Viego, which isn't necessarily the best, but I mean, I guess you take that if you are this Karthus player indeed. And we are running for a Catalyst of Aeons. And that means, I mean, you already know what that means. Rod of Ages is coming in at rapid pace. Also, Orianna grabbed herself a tier. This is going to make her weaker in the early game, but generally, obviously, makes her much stronger in the mid and late game. Also, especially the mid game, playing the side lanes, this makes her much stronger. But yeah, we're playing a little bit too aggressive here, Orianna, huh? We're sure we are that ahead? You can't forget that the Catalyst of Aeons, I mean, you don't get a lot of damage, but it does help you out quite a bit. Oh, we gotta be careful here. This is not a good situation for the red team to be in. Yeah, red team will be taken down. Sona goes down, and Sylas will go down indeed as well, as Karthus is trying to deal as much damage as possible, but can't really commit to that fight, because obviously he will go down, and then Viego picks himself up a Karthus, which you do not want to happen. Karthus moving back into the mid lane now. Lane state, very, very favorable for Orianna, as she kind of denied Karthus a lot of minions with this, as basically an entire wave got pushed into turrets. Orianna did get a little bit more of it. Karthus got a little bit less of it. It wasn't optimal. It wasn't a freeze or anything, but still not too bad. Orianna, you have no mana. So, okay. Catalyst of Aeons will heal Karthus as he spends mana. So he just needs to be careful here. Needs to prevent taking a lot of damage. And then he is good. As long as he is able to control the wave, he should be fine. Obviously going for those isolated Qs onto the minions to CS them. And he will indeed grab himself the shove advantage here. Got to be a little bit careful with Orianna. Yeah, exactly. You kind of want to be ready for her to commit. Okay, the wall goes down. A lot of mana spent on both sides. Karthus grabs himself the push into the turret, but it's not a long enough crash. So he can't really recall, which means we are going to stay. And that means... Ooh, Orianna. The chain connects. Orianna has to flash out. The Q connects as well. Very good job, Silas, but not quite enough damage, unfortunately. Totally fine though, as Karthus will pick up another wave for himself. Good guy Silas helping him out, and that is a big advantage here for Karthus. Orianna does stay, which means that Orianna will be delayed in her recoil as well, which is very good for Karthus, as he grabs himself a blasting wand and bait, and grabs himself a blasting wand and boots, which is really good. Boots very good against Orianna in general, as Orianna will force you to space constantly, right? So very good on Karthus as well, as he wants to gap close. And then the blasting one, I don't need to explain, is the highest damage option out of all of the early items. Obviously doesn't give you any mana regeneration, but we have the catalyst for that a little bit. And obviously we want to get to the Rod of Ages as quickly as possible, so the boots, very, very useful, but also they will delay your item. Ooh, actually beautiful job by Karthus, as he barely doesn't get her. Hey, oh, he does get her. Very good job. So he kind of, that was interesting, right? Ooh, he connected with the ultimate as well. Very good job. Hey, look at that, the Samira lane, huh? So Orianna pulled her ultimate, and he saw it, and he put a Q right below her, isolating her, dealing full damage to her, and then just continued to hit Qs. And even though Orianna ulted, yeah, he was prepared. So very good job. Rod of Ages now complete, which is, I mean, that is absolutely huge, because that's an 8-minute Rod of Ages. The quicker you get that, the better. Because with this, you're sure to show up for the third dragon. So even if everything would go south from now on, which I'm not expecting, you would still be able to fight for the soul with full stacks and a good build. Alright, Silas will be taken down once more. Silas not having as good of a time as some other of his mates. That is totally fine. We see a very interesting build here on the Silas as well. Right, Aatrox taken over by Viego. Yeah, not the best of situations here for Karthus, but we will just hang tight. Ooh, Hog. Ooh, he got that minion, nice. Yeah, just hang tight, farm up. Wait for your ultimate. Last time his ultimate got himself another kill on the bot lane. So he got 2 kills out of that situation, which was really good. And then obviously, ooh, Aatrox dying again. 0 and 3 at this point, as the Goon Squad is popping off. Ooh, Orianna ultimate early on. Used using your ultimate early on Orianna, not necessarily what I think is best. Like there with Karthus, obviously it immobilized her and it kind of clued Karthus into what was going on. So bit problematic. Obviously I do have quite a bit of experience on Orianna, but not playing versus Karthus. But just watching this replay, I think one thing is for sure, you want to keep your distance, right? So you want to optimally just kind of deal damage to him on your maximum range of abilities once he walks into you. And then obviously at that point you're conceding a lot to him. Karthus is a scary champion, man. Karthus is a really, really scary champion. That is for sure. And obviously if, like, Karthus is one of these champions where if you can hit all your Karthus Qs, you are going to be absolutely insane. And Karthus is broken, right? Because you're never supposed to hit all of them. So, very much like maybe Victor and Gangplank. He isn't the most complicated champion, but he has this one mechanic that can make him really hard. Sorcerer Boots and a Fiendish Codex acquired here. Fiendish Codex is very, very good as it will give him more CDR, but believe me, I have no clue what he's planning to build, so we'll just wait and see. We will just find out. Obviously, you can always use more cooldown reduction on a champion like Karthus with such strong abilities. Alright, so 87 CS, not the best, not the worst, considering how chaotic the game was. And obviously, I'm sure he was planning for it to be this chaotic as well, because he was early on already fighting and going in and opting into fights instead of opting out. So something that I guess we can... oh no. The Nila thing happened. Yeah, dude, Rel and Viego are doing very well together, huh? They are doing very, very well together. Oh, Karthus ultimate coming through. Viego will go down. Nyla now in a little bit of peril. Nyla flash. She will be able to cover a lot of distance. Silas doesn't find her as the Karthus flash is going to slow down Nila. Nila will pick herself up. A kill onto Silas, but Karthus goes down with another kill on to the Nila, and this man has so much money. I still don't know what he's planning to build though. Not sure, but 5 stacks on Rod of Ages, and I've seen Rod of Ages on Rise. It is, yeah, it's not a lot of fun. You really become very tanky and deal incredible amounts of damage. So it sounds a little illegal. But we'll see. We'll see what the build here is. Karthus usually played in this like super damage stacking kind of playstyle. Okay, gets the Zhonya. Yeah, that makes the most sense with the Fiendish Codex. Gets the Zhonya. Zhonya obviously one of these items, right, that you don't see on a Karthus jungle really. But here it appears that that would be planned. And maybe with Rod of Ages now there is a little bit of an emergence of... I've played one game. I had a game where I was going off against a... in the jungle, obviously. Was going off against, what was it, a Hecarim, Ornn top lane, and Zed mid lane. And I was like, okay, this team is so tanky. I think it was even a Nautilus bot lane or something. So I was like, this team is so tanky. So what I did is I picked Karthus first pick, so I, didn't really have any choice. So I was like, okay, what do we do? And then I went for like a off-tank kind of tank shredding kind of build, right? And try to do this like sustained fighting build with a Zhonya, with a Liandry's, and with a Demonic Embrace, and then I built Cosmic Drive, and it worked out really well. It worked out ridiculously well. So ever since that, I've been kind of hoping to see like this off-tank type of build be a thing, because it felt pretty strong to me, especially if you have to go off against tanks. But obviously it doesn't get you that crazy ultimate pop. It gets you more of a run into the team fights and kind of maybe Mordekaiser-esque playstyle, right? So it is what it is. We will see what he elects to pick. Yeah, very, very unlike a Karthus, these items. Very, yeah, very team fighty brawly, right? He's not planning to sit somewhere far away and hit his ultimate. He is planning to be in the fight and apply that healing reduction to everyone, run down everyone. And Demonic Embrace honestly gives you really good value. The problem that I see here is that obviously magic resist is going to be an issue, and so he has to sneak that in, which obviously is 2.5k gold spent on damage again, which can really be problematic in these type of builds where you want to be tanky enough so that you can last a little bit longer in team fights. Are we seeing a Karthus ultimate come through? No Karthus ultimate come through. Yeah, we're not ready to fight this, I guess. Alright, it's totally fine. So the blue team, gap closing, we find the Samira, who was in a very questionable position. Viego takes down the Sona as well, and Silas can't really do anything about it. Will Silas be at least able to get away? It looks like it, yeah. And now Karthus, Silas, and Aatrox are holding the line, trying to defend at least the inhib turret, right? Because I would assume this turret will go down even though smite is available. But yeah, beautiful engage by Rel, beautiful engage by Nila, and this is the blue team now fighting under the turret though, and Karthus is doing an amazing job. He will deal probably 2k damage there in this entire fight. Just ridiculously high damage, and the ultimate coming through, taking down Viego as well. Yeah, Rel, that was a great engage, but listen, buddy, this Karthus does not budge. He will stand his ground and he will take you down if you don't stand a chance. And under the turret, obviously, you know, you're always under pressure, which is the point where he can hit all of his Qs. And his E and Zhonya worked out really well in that fight. Really, really good job. And now the stacks are also here. 10 stacks on the Rod of Ages as well. We'll do a little bit of invade dirty farming. And you can see also the regeneration here from the passive that obviously Rod of Ages carries on from the Catalyst of Aeons. Hey, come back, Scuttle! Ah! Alright, I assume that he needed that, yeah? I assume that he needed that for money. Alright, we gotta be careful here. W comes out. I feel like the blue team is really trying to end. Yeah, I feel like they're very, very eager to end, as obviously you could give Nila a little bit more time to scale. Morellonomicon fully completed as well. What a questionable item build. I mean, I'm sure that this is going to be a void staff now. So now the item build for a Karthus being Zhonya Morellonomicon is, I mean, LS would hate this guy. This is the ultimate build, dude. But honestly, I like it, right? Because the way this team fight is going to work out is it's everything is going to be super brawly, right? So why shouldn't you be tanky and just kind of be there and deal a lot of damage? Because another issue obviously with Karthus is if you go glass cannon, sometimes you just die somewhere where you didn't die correctly, right? And so the team fight just moves on from you. But if you're as tanky as he is, then that just doesn't just happen. Oh, we are in trouble. Yeah, good ultimate by Orianna this time. That's exactly how you want to do it. Just take away all the options from Karthus. Karthus will go down as Viego actually does not pick him up, interestingly enough. think if I was Viego, I would have tried to pick up the Karthus 100%. Alright. Decent pickup onto the... Yeah, Viego will be able to get out though. Now we're all inside of Nila and Viego. Viego gets another reset, but will be taken down. Very good job. Aatrox and Sylas running this town. And honestly, Samira did really good damage there. This would have not worked out this well without Samira. Yeah, Rel, where are you moving? You have no movement speed. Can't get away from that W, and Aatrox picks himself up. A shutdown gold, and Sylas now really big damage. Obviously has those stacks on the Dark Seal as well. So he's going to be scary, dude. Ay, ay, ay. Void stuff still not here. But, you know, obviously, Karthus didn't really do anything the last fight. This is exactly what the blue team needs, is catch the Karthus off guard. But then, obviously, the fight kind of degenerated into this all...
Double kill.
Oh, double kill for Samira. Oh, no. Oh, it's not working out well. Obviously, I'm also not sure about this item build on Nila here. Yeah, I'm not very sure about it. All right, Orianna with the 2-item power spike. These items are really strong on Orianna, but obviously she is still quite behind. Zhonya not quite available here for Karthus. The Sona ultimate will come out. Zhonya barely available. No, it will not be available. As, yeah, you cannot turn into... Yeah, okay, well, it's still a kill onto the Viego picked up here by Aatrox, so that is still good. High damage, though, dealt to the Samira. Sylas, as the jungler, though, standing tall, he will be able to take this dragon for himself. Yeah, just smite it forehead. 1.5. Okay, they're looking to bait the enemy team in, kind of give them the feeling of having a chance. Also, Viego, by the way, Viego is actually running the full MR stack. Obviously, Sylas doing very well for himself, but now that Samira and Aatrox have kind of started to show up as well, we have an issue, as this Sylas is absolutely fed as well. All right, so I feel like at this point, honestly, I think a Demonic Embrace wouldn't be bad. I think Demonic Embrace, with how long the fights take, how tanky he is, I think Demonic Embrace honestly wouldn't be too bad, because it will give you a decent amount of AP just from the Rod of Ages again, right? Because the Rod of Ages obviously stacks the HP up as well. And then the Morellonomicon gives you some HP as well. And then you have a decent amount of tankiness just through those items plus Zhonya. Obviously, enemy team dealing predominantly physical damage. Orianna, not really enough items, right? As a really big ultimate comes through. Collecting some Dark Harvest, but... Ooh, the blue team manages to take out everyone on the red team except Aatrox. Karthus obviously wasn't in that fight. Wait, Rel disconnected? Okay. What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. All right, Karthus going to defend. This is I don't think they're able to defend this. Nah, there's no way. Let's see if Rel goes for a crazy engage again. Zhonya available for Karthus. Samira, actually, we kind of want to bait them in now. Obviously, no baiting in. No baiting in happening though. As the enemy team knows better. Samira currently 10 stacks on her Hydra. This is kind of a nasty situation because in order to get Infinity Edge now she has to build armor penetration, right? But there's not a lot of armor on the enemy team, so you're kind of forced to do it because Collector at this point doesn't really make a lot of sense anymore. But yeah, going for the long con, I guess. Alright, Viego finding a good pocket to launch his Vape Nage. Ooh, we gotta be careful here, Karthus, yeah. Alright, moving back a little bit, trying to juggle the enemy team. Alright, we see Rel and Viego moving up into the middle. And it would seem... Oh, Orianna, you little raccoon. Oh yeah, we have a fight in the mid lane here. But this is a victory for the red team now. Samira taking down the Rel. Actually, Darius going down as well. That is 3 members of the blue team going down here. And that means the red team has earned themselves. I believe this is a inhib turret. So it was a very close game. But I believe this is going to be... Oh, this is not going to be the inhib turret. They're actually not deciding to fight for it. Instead, they split up. Giving the enemy team a lot more chances. Actually, Viego went down as well. I don't even know. How did Viego go down? What? Maybe to Aatrox. Maybe. Potentially. Oh no. Yeah, I think stacking this much MR, actually not that worth it. Because Samira is still a thing. So stacking more resistances or more damage on Viego's side, I think would not be a bad idea. Alright, so I would assume that this is a Rabadon's coming in here for Karthus. Would make the most sense. You do stack a lot of AP, right? 470 AP without Rabadons. And this is from Rod of Ages and then just void stuff, and the rest is defensive kind of items, right? So this is going to be very interesting. Orianna still hasn't managed to get a freaking item, dude. What the hell? Orianna, what are we doing? Dude, Orianna could be so impactful in these fights, as she is their only magic damage. So she is like super important in these fights, but doesn't do anything. Rel flash. Triple kill picked up here by the red team again. Oh, and at least now we are taking down Z-turret. And then we will be moving in to pick up the Inferno or try to end the game. Try to end the game. 10 seconds on Orianna could potentially be pretty big. Alright, kill picked up onto Viego. Okay, we will take down the turret. Rel did go down, so that's pretty good. Orianna has her ultimate available. Decent ultimate out of Orianna, but she will be caught inside of a turret. But she trades 1-for-1 with Aatrox. Ooh, and Nila will find herself the target, but beautiful job. Red team takes down Darius and Nila. GG, and thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Stay awesome.